This was not even supposed to be part of the video at all. But anyway, sis. I just had a conversation with my friend. We just came out of sociology class. We were talking about the different classes we're in, and I was telling her I'm in bio. Then she's like, oh, how are you liking it? I'm like, not at all. And then I said I'm not a bio person because I think more philosophically, I'm in a secular school system, which is very different to what I've grown up in. But basically I was like, yeah, with the whole Big Bang thing and how the world started and the whole history of everything, it's all speculation. If you pay attention to the wording used, because they can never be sure, they have to say and can only say, this is what might have happened, but then if this happened, then this happened for sure, blah, blah, blah. And it's all speculation. And I was like, sis, there's no absolute. It's more obsolete. Just with different things, I'm like, what is the point of knowing how these systems work when literally it's going to change the second they find new information? And then she's like, yeah, actually, in my philosophy 201, which is, I believe she said, is critical thinking, she said you can never prove a hypothesis. You can only disprove a hypothesis. And the reason is because we're in a world with multiple possibilities. There are multiple different outliers and different contributing causes. The closest we can get is by disproving the hypothesis. And that's the only way you know for sure that's not what happened. Bro, it's just it's in stats as well. You can only know what isn't the case. You can never fully know what is, because of how the system's set up. What was it? I know in particular what I'm looking for with the whole main effect, factorial design is slightly before that. The one with the H's, you have to test for different sequence effects and possibilities, even when you're trying to discover what works. You have your hypothesis and you test the hypothesis in order to disprove it. Say your hypothesis is plants are always green, right? So you kind of try to disprove it. You try to find examples of when are plants not green. And if you don't find it, you can say, okay, therefore plants are always green until we find contradicting evidence. This plant is not supposed to be green. It was purple when I first got it, if you remember. But anyway, just stuff like that. Oh my gosh, I really wish I could find it. So basically the reason this matters is we can't know for sure what everything is. Yeah, I found it, finally. Inferential statistic. Look at these notes. Look, just read it. Bruh, it's statistics. Yeah, I paid for this class. You can't get this information for free. That's what I'm trying to say. You can never prove a hypothesis. You can only ever disprove it. So people who are out here telling you things as if it's a fact, it's not necessarily a fact. It's just what we know for now. Until we can disprove it, this is what we believe. So really, you have to think, guys. You have missing Londo, okay? Missing Londo.
Use your common sense.
Bro, stay woke. Also, peep the fit. If the jean jacket on top, you already know, with the space buns. They're even. I checked. So we're good. Also, my class today, oh my gosh, my English teacher is so funny. I feel like my sense of humor is very different. That's my hypothesis. So my hypothesis is that my sense of humor is different than most people until I find somebody who breaks that argument. And this is not counting my family members. It's one of the things you had to be there. You had to be there. Anyway, my class was so funny. Today's just been a good day. It's sunny outside. You already see that. I'm actually going to, as I'm writing this essay, I'm going to, inferential statistics. Let me break this down, okay? The null hypothesis. The null hypothesis, guys. Let me read this to you. The null hypothesis is an empty hypothesis of no interest. We're setting it up for the purpose of rejecting. We're saying this hypothesis with the intent to disprove it. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And it covers all possible exceptions to the alternative hypothesis. The alternative hypothesis is the research hypothesis we're trying to prove. So, p-value is assuming the null hypothesis is true. Here's the probability of whatever. So p is not the probability that the hypothesis is true. We're assuming it's true and looking for probability after. This is, I don't know if it's making sense. Like I said, you gotta pay for this class. I can't give you for free. But the p-value is that given that the null hypothesis is true, and that's the one that we don't believe in, we're just trying to disprove, the probability of obtaining a difference between samples means, what was I writing about? What language is this? But anyway, guys, with this null hypothesis, right? Flipping a coin. Our null hypothesis that we are trying to disprove is that the coin is rigged. We don't want to believe that the coin is rigged. We want to believe that it's not. So, assuming that it's not rigged, what are the possibilities of getting either heads or tails? 50-50. If we flip it, it's heads. Flip it again, heads. Flip it again, heads. Okay, 3 times in a row, that probability, which is P, like that whole thing goes from a 50-50 chance, which you have 0.5 chance of getting it heads, then 25, 0.25, 0.125, blah, blah, blah. But at this point, this is the point where the p-value, original assumption, is not probable. What am I trying to say? Somebody comment down below. But what I'm saying is at a certain point, you have to assume that your first hypothesis is not true because you keep getting the same result. Like I said, statistics, let's say I passed the class.
Barely.
You guys saw me crying about it last not crying, but stressed about it last semester. But anyway, what I got from that was kind of more philosophical than it probably should have been. But basically, you assume something's true until it is disproved, and there's a certain point, if it keeps getting proved, you have to get suspicious. I don't know what that even means anymore. It's that type of thing. I need other people in the room to confirm that we're on the same page or to bring new light and bring new information to what I'm trying to articulate here. If you want to engage with me in this conversation, comment. Okay, I tried to film. There's this little dog, and I think I've talked about him or her before. I've seen that puppy grow up. Every single day when I'm walking from English class to bio, the puppy's being trained to become a guide dog or emotional support dog. A service dog. You're not allowed to pet it, not allowed to make eye contact with it, but I'm always like, and that's why I've been filming the puppy, because it's been making me happy to see. And I've just seen that puppy grow up, man. She used to be such a cute little squishy, and it made me happy to see her. Even I think whatever week it was when my dog Riley passed away, and it was questionable of whether or not I could see other dogs, because I even saw this old man. I don't know if I told you, probably not. But I saw this old man who kind of reminded me of Riley, and I just broke down in tears the second I got back to my room. But anyway, I was like, okay, am I going to be able to see this puppy and be okay? But I was. I've seen lots of other dogs, and the other dogs are all random other breeds. So that's why it's been fine for me to see them. But this puppy is a yellow lab. Riley was a golden retriever, but yellow lab, golden retriever, they look similar, if you don't think about it. But no, I was fine. Also, side note, I'm debating if I should even post these videos. First of all, what's the point? What's it gonna do for anyone? Nothing. Other than satisfy curiosity of how one student lives her life and what I do. And even in this is not really fully accurate, because I'm only filming for weeks when something actually happens. Even as I was thinking to myself, there is no such thing as a normal week or even a normal day. Every single day is different. Even though I have the same classes, sometimes I wake up at different times, I eat at different times, I wear different outfits. I've changed outfits multiple times throughout the day for the past, I think, month. It's gotten to a point where I can't wear the same outfit for a full day, but I'm gonna try. yeah, like I said, every day is different. And also my issue is privacy. Am I sharing too much? Because whatever you publish, whatever you put online, whether that's an Instagram photo, a tweet, a YouTube video, after you post it, it belongs to the public. And because this is my personal life and what I'm doing every day, it's my life. I don't want it to belong to other people or to no longer be mine. Think about it. It's called share because you're sharing the ownership. Other people also experience it through what you have shared. When you share that, then you're sharing the ownership. So I don't know how much I want to do that. But then again, because every single day is different, every single week is different, and my semester is never going to look the same again, I'm okay with sharing this because after I share it, it's no longer my full reality. My reality has now shifted and I'm experiencing something different. So yeah, that's how I think. And now you know, and I don't know if I want you to know, but if you see this, then that means I was okay with it. Let them know. Get meta with it. My goal with these types of videos is to give you a perspective of somebody else. Also, I want to document so I can remember, even though does it matter? Do I need to remember? No. Another reason I want to do these is I always like to add something in here that's applicable to other people's life. I want people to think when they watch my videos. I don't agree with this whole mindset of mindlessly consuming. I'm on my philosophical-ish today, guys. You don't understand this, bruh. So I don't like mindless consuming, which is why I always like to watch things with intention. Do everything with intention, because the brain is drawn to things that give information. The problem with social media and, the information age is we're getting a lot more information than we have been used to in the past. In the past, if you want information, you pick up a book, you read it, you look for exactly what you want to know. Okay, data exploration part 2, inferential statistics, sampling distributions. You look exactly for what you need, you read it, and that's it. In this day and age, you can Google what you want, but then on the sidebar, come up ads, come up different websites that aren't necessarily what you wanted, but kind of close. So there's just this whole flux of information, and that's only counting Googling things that are information. These days, you pick up your phone, you scroll through Instagram, you're getting visuals and you're getting sounds and captions of people's lives, and your brain takes it as, okay, this is important information, but it's not actually. We're getting oversaturated with information, and not all of it is equally as important. It's just overwhelming at times. So anyway, I like to just not contribute to that by putting out content that makes you think. So you're not just mindlessly watching a video and, okay, when it's done, let it auto roll to the next, but so that you're watching and you're also thinking in your head, okay, how do I feel about this? What do I think about this? And you're engaging rather than just a spectator, because these things are addictive. They pull you in and you don't even realize that your brain has switched off. And I've experienced that several times, even as I've tried to be intentional. So it's just tough out here in these streets. Like, I probably say this every single video. I have an issue with kind of posting these types of things, which is why I'm not sure if I will, because I don't know how useful and relevant it is to other people's lives, and I don't want to contribute to this whole mindless thing. So anyway, that's the long, not the long and short, just the long of what I've been thinking about, what I've been experiencing, just me ranting in my room. This is just like part of life, man. You can't go through life with your brain turned off either. Sometimes you're not even on your phone. You're just walking and you're listening to music. You know what I'm saying? You have these in, you're getting information, the song or whatever you're listening to, going through your brain. You're not really taking in things. You're just kind of, before you know it, you're in class and you're not even thinking. And like, really, we have put things in our life to busy ourselves. School, work, whatever the case is, activities, extracurriculars, hangouts with friends. If your brain is switched off as you're walking to class, your brain is kind of switched off as you're taking notes, you're not thinking critically, your brain is switched off as you eat and as you watch things, what part of your day is your brain switched on? And before you know it, you've gone the whole day without thinking, without checking in with yourself, without asking, how am I feeling about this? Do I agree with this? What do I think about this? It's happened to me where I've mindlessly taking in information or whatever and reacting, but only surface level. And then after, when I get home and think about it, I'm like, wait a second. What that person said was actually really not cool, or I'm not comfortable with how that happened. People think, oh, Zen, like, tell us how you feel. You always blow up after the fact, but you never say it. It's because sometimes my brain's turned off. If you're not the type of person who I have experienced and engage in conversation with, that's just how people are. It's fine, okay? I found my group of people who I can talk to. It's fine. But, you know, you have to keep your brain on. That's what I'm saying. You have to keep your brain on. You have to keep thinking about things, asking questions. This is getting way too long, so I'm going to cut it here. But yeah, good luck to Zen editing, because honestly, I don't envy you at all. If you've been watching YouTube for a long time today, I encourage you to, at this point, switch off. You know, switch off the YouTube and go out and do something with your mind turned on. You could read a book. You could take a walk. You could just hang out with friends. You could people watch. You could even do your homework or do your work or whatever it is that you need to do, a hobby, whatever. Make sure your brain's turned on and you're checking in with yourself. How do I feel about this? What do I think about this? What is my reaction to this? Because life is really about your reactions. If you are a person, you have the ability to critically think. So use that. There you go. That's all I gotta say. All right, bye guys.